If we could speak to them, what would we say? How would we explain? How would we write that one perfect letter to the last rhino left on Earth?
Dear Rhino, sir, yes, what can we say? We came here with amazement in our eyes at the ancientness of your body. And then we destroyed you, we cut you down. Not out of passion or to enjoy the great hunt, but for greed, for vanity, for nothing.
So there was a bit of a panic in that the crates wouldn't fit in because they're too wide. And what's fantastic about this operation, we got them up onto planks and pushed them in. And once they were in, there was no movement down the side of the aeroplane. And Les went to the major and said, "Are you comfortable with that?" And the major said, "If it takes off, we're golden."
We put a crate on the ground, put a white crate on the ground, opened the doors, pushed the rhino back out of the one crate into the other crate with all the airport security. And we were also reasonably nervous that we didn't have a rhino running around in Durban, of course. So we chained the two crates together and pulled it as tight as we could.
The great thing about the way this is all working, everybody's just pulling together and making it happen.
Great excitement. The plane actually arrived on time, which is very unusual. So today we're really excited, amped up to get the rhinos running free in the wild. So to help us be able to keep the rhinos sedated for less amount of time, we even have brought the Botswana customs officials in the field with us. And everybody that's coming out of the plane right now will be stamped in. Thank you for coming and joining us and stamping everybody's passports. And I believe there's even paperwork for the rhinos. So they'll be stamping the rhinos into Botswana, which is a fantastic thing.
We've just received the last of the 5 rhino that have recently been translocated to Botswana. From an operational point of view, this is probably the best for the rhino that we possibly can do. They were loaded late yesterday afternoon and they're now in Botswana, 2,000 kilometers away. If you had to do this by road, it's a 48-hour translocation trip, which comes with all the physiological risks associated with not eating, not drinking, being stressed. So working together as a multinational effort, the BDF flying the planes in, it just makes the welfare for the rhinos so much better.
We've just had the most amazing accident where the bottom, the chock that holds the tail of the plane came out and the tail of the plane started sinking onto the back of the vehicle, which would have been a complete disaster. Fortunately, it didn't hit.
Now, that was a little bit hectic. Getting in underneath there, trying to get that jack in, while the rhino's bouncing on your head and the trailer's meant for about half that weight. It got a little bit hairy down there.
As you can see, we've got the rhinos ready to come out of the crates now. It's been just an outstanding collaboration with all the government departments, Rhinos Without Borders obviously driving everything and facilitating everything. We've also got rhino conservation, we've got the DWNP, the wildlife department, the soldiers are here for security. It's just been an amazing collaboration.
The plan now is to take the 2 crates that we've got on the truck behind me onto the second crane truck, take them forward and he'll start offloading while we offload the next crate and bring it forward, and we put all 3 on the big crane truck and offload them all.
We're just about to unload them and then we'll let them go and they'll be in the wild again and hopefully in a place where they're not going to be persecuted as much as they are where they came from.
I love seeing how proud Botswana is. Everybody embracing Rhinos Without Borders. They are helping in every way they can. Nobody is nervous of getting their hands dirty or even doing the heavy lifting. I do believe that this is not only a Botswana effort, but a global effort in protecting these rhinos.
This is a fairly unusual way of offloading white rhino in particular, but we're doing it very similar to the way black rhino are translocated. That's to knock them down out of the crate. So we give them a mobilizing drug until they're pretty affected. We let them out the crate, we catch them with ropes, pull them down. The reason we do that is because we've got lots of people, lots of activity, and we also need to fit transmitters to them and do ear notches.
What we're doing now is we're fitting the telemetry equipment. So each rhino gets a satellite transmitter on its right ankle and a VHF transmitter on its left ankle, which means that we can monitor them both on the ground and from the plane. We can track them in live from the plane. And when I'm sitting at home on my computer, I can also download the fixes up to 4 or 5 a day.
We're just taking horn measurements and data recording for all the measurements for our database, so we can work out over time how this animal is doing in terms of her condition and her growth.
Just check in the heart rate here to check whether the condition of the animal is still beating nicely and comfortably.
From a release point of view and an overall translocation planning point of view, it's much better for runners to walk off like this. There's no immediate negative association with the offloading, and the runners are very gently walking off, they're exploring, and from an initial settling point of view, that's exactly what you want. Look at that. That's just the best thing you can see, eh? Fantastic. Great team effort.
The operation went well, and so happy to have 10 rhinos, increasing the one I do look after here, so which is more job for me. And I promise the world that I'm going to look after these beautiful animals. Successful project so far, a lot of babies, they've been born, everything is going well. I love rhinos. They make me what I am now, and I've got almost 24 years experience working with the rhinos. They're my babies. They're part of my family, and I love them so much.
If we could speak to them, what would we say? How would we explain? How would we write that one perfect letter to the last rhino left on Earth?